I'm OG, y'all new to the game.
What is going on, guys? It's Omar from Simply Car Things. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Hope everyone's had a great day as well. And today we're going to be talking about the top 3 best modifications to make significant power on your turbocharged vehicle. Now, as diehard car enthusiasts, we all know the power and the benefits and the awesome advantages that come with owning a turbocharged vehicle, or, you know, adding forced induction to your vehicle, even if it's a naturally aspirated car. Turbochargers are really cool technology to help lower the displacement of an engine, but also increase the power. It's a really cool kind of win-win situation. It increases efficiency, it also increases power. There's a lot of benefits. But for car enthusiasts alike, one of the best benefits of owning a turbocharged vehicle is the amount of performance capabilities and tuning support and aftermarket options that you have available to yourself to increase the power on your car however you want, depending on if you want just a marginal increase in performance, or if you want to go crazy and push your car all the way up to over 1,000 horsepower. Turbocharged vehicles generally offer those kind of solutions. Now, getting straight right into it, going into the first and most beneficial modification that you can do to your turbocharged vehicle would have to be just getting a tune. So basically, whenever you get a tune, you're flashing the ECU, or a lot of times just messing around with multiple parameters of the car, such as ignition, your air-fuel ratios, timing, boost pressure, all that kind of stuff. And what a tune does essentially is it runs a more aggressive map setting on your car. And by doing so, increasing the boost pressures and, you know, air-fuel ratios, and messing with a lot of those parameters and changing a lot of those minor specifics and whatnot, you're able to see instant power gains with just a simple tune from a laptop, or, you know, even nowadays with your Android or mobile smartphone. You can do a lot to make big power on just a stock vehicle itself. For example, take my 2007 BMW 335i. It has an N54 twin turbo inline 6 engine. From the factory, the car makes around 300 horsepower and 300 torque. Just with a stage 1 MHD tune, which you can easily flash the car off of from your Android device, and it takes about 40 to 50 minutes to do so for the total process, you can see instant gains of around 60 to 70 horsepower to the wheels on a completely stock car just off of a tune alone, which is quite significant. And, you know, it's not going to be that significant on all other cars and whatnot, but the fact of the matter is that tunes are very, very beneficial to turbocharged cars. A lot of times from the factory, these vehicles tend to run a very conservative map, one that isn't very aggressive and whatnot. And so there is a lot of unexplored potential to make significant power gains. And then once you pair those power gains from the tune with certain bolt-on modifications to assist with the tune, you can make even bigger power. Going into my next modification that you need to do, which is a downpipe. For any turbocharged application, or any car in general, the car will have catalytic converters. And catalytic converters are good because of the fact that, you know, they are federally mandated. You know, it is a legal responsibility for every car manufacturer to implement catalytic converters into their car to pass certain emission regulations. And on top of that, so that, you know, they don't emit harmful pollutants which can damage the environment. However, if you want to make big power on a car, or if you want to increase the power on your turbocharged vehicle, deleting the catalytic converters is a very beneficial thing to do as far as power goes. Now, you can do this easily by purchasing aftermarket downpipes and bolting them in between the turbo and the rest of your exhaust system. And what this is going to do is going to enable more flow from the turbo, more increased back pressure, and in addition to that, less restrictive downpipes, essentially decatted downpipes or catless downpipes, or what they're generally deemed as, are going to be very beneficial. And when you pair those with a tune, your turbo on your vehicle and to the engine is going to be able to spool much quicker. It's going to be able to hit those target boost pressures much easier. And generally with downpipes, for example, on a 335i like my car, you can see gains between 15 to 25 horsepower to the wheels, and on a lot of other cars it's pretty similar. Now, going into the third and final modification as far as for building power goes and whatnot, that would have to be the installation of an upgraded intercooler, whether it's a top mount intercooler or a front mount intercooler. An intercooler is definitely going to assist the cooling of the initial air temperatures or the intake air temperatures going into the engine significantly, therefore helping you create more power. Now, as we all know, cold air is more dense, it burns more effectively in the engine, you know, with fuel and whatnot. And so the ultimate goal is to try to, that intake air, to try to cool it down as much as possible before entering the engine. And on a turbocharged vehicle, when the air enters through the intakes, goes through the intake tract, runs through the turbo, gets compressed. Once it's getting compressed, it's under immense pressure, and with all that immense pressure comes a lot of heat as well. So an intercooler's responsibility is to definitely cool down, you know, that incoming air before it runs through the engine so that it's as dense as possible. And in addition to that, it's going to create more power for your car, and it's not going to, you know, deal with things like heat soak. Now, generally from the factory, intercoolers are fairly sufficient for, you know, normal daily driving use and whatnot, and they're not bad. But if you're looking to make extra power, if you want to run a nice aggressive tune, you know, to ultimately run more horsepower and get more torque to the wheels on your car, an upgraded intercooler is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to consider, especially if you're going to be running higher boost pressures and whatnot. In a larger intercooler, generally, whether it's like a 5-inch stepped intercooler, like a 7-inch intercooler, or an upgraded top mount intercooler, whatever the case may be, the larger the intercooler, the more beneficial it's going to be for the car, due to the fact that not only is it going to have less chance of getting heat soaked, but it's also going to be able to more effectively cool down those intake air temperatures, which are incoming, you know, straight from the turbo and are about to head directly into the motor itself. So an intercooler is definitely an effective thing to do. And not only that too, it's great for preventative maintenance. Of course, the colder the air, the more better it's going to be just in general for the health of your engine. It's definitely a really good performance upgrade and a good sort of preventative maintenance upgrade to, you know, just help keep your car running a lot smoother, regardless if you have a tune or if you're looking to make big power or not. Generally, an upgraded intercooler is definitely a great thing to do. So there you guys have it. Those are my top 3 modifications for making big power, or not big power, but significantly more power than stock on a turbocharged vehicle. These are fairly cost effective as well. Downpipes and intercooler in a tune should run anywhere in the neighborhood, depending on the car, between like $700 to $2,000, I'd say. It really all depends on the car, the manufacturer, the aftermarket support that is available for all these and whatnot. But yeah, those, in my opinion, are the top 3 most beneficial mods that you can do as far as power goes, that are quick, easy, and fairly affordable. There are a couple other things too, like intakes and stuff like that, but in my opinion, you're gonna get the most bang from your buck with a tune, downpipes, and intercooler. So that's kind of my list for you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video today. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed as well. Subscribe to my channel, Simply Car Things, if you're new here. If you're just stopping by, welcome to my channel. I have tons of videos on my car. It's a BMW 335i Coupe. I love cars, and I definitely have a passion for videos and for doing anything with cars. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to check me out on Instagram at Omar Sadat, OMARRSADAT. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.